Nice to see you.
This is a real treat for me. Thanks for having me.
Very nice to have you. You're on a very funny show called Wrecked.
Thank you very much.
And so I know that you, and I've watched you work, and I was like, this is a very funny guy. What I didn't know is that when you were as a younger man, even younger than you are now, you were very much into music. Music was your passion growing up,
Music
right?
was my first love, my first big ambition. I started in 6th grade. I voluntarily joined an extracurricular club called the Boys Quintet. It was me and 4 other little nerdy white kids. And we had a very cool black music teacher who tried his best to like give us rhythm and help us be musical.
What a hell for that man. What a hell for that man.
The patience of a saint. His name was Mr. Green. He was fantastic. I loved him. And we tried to do like barbershop music, right? So we only learned one song. He could only get us to do one song. It was In the Still of the Night. You know that song? Like In the Still of the Night, right?
Don't sing too much.
I won't do too much.
We'll have to pay for it.
Okay, all right. My part.
Do you know any Led Zeppelin?
Yeah. What's the most expensive song I could sing?
Hey, let's sing the White Album together by the Beatles.
Take it away. My part was to just go shadoop shooby doop. I won't do any melody. I don't want to get you in trouble. But I just shadoop shooby doop. That's all I did.
That was all you got to do?
There was this kid, Michael Salvatore, who sang the whole song, and I stood behind him, and I shadooped, and I hated him. That was my job. So what we would do gigs. I'm in 6th grade, 7th grade. We would go to the mall in the middle of the day. We would go to the food court. Mr. Green would line us up, and he would just say to anyone eating, "The Boys Quintet," and then we would sing In the Still of the Night, and then leave. And people would be like, what? We would go to like food courts of office buildings, and at their lunch, anywhere people were eating lunch, we would sing In the Still of the Night. And
all you had to do was say shooby doop.
I shadoop shooby doop. That was my whole thing. I would get in the car with these guys, sing one song to strangers who didn't want us.
Here's my question. Why didn't you ever learn? What if someone liked that and was like, let's hear another one?
We would have been mortified. No one wanted to hear another one. It was so strange.
You knew, I see.
Weird. Yeah.
And you were also in a punk band, is that right?
So, like, I was in the nerdiest thing you could ever be in, the Boys Quintet, and like, when you pull someone so far into, I'm sorry, I'm like, got my...
No, that's all right, no.
I slingshotted the other way in high school, and I got super into punk rock. DC's got a great punk scene. I would go to shows all the time. I was in this band where we didn't learn any songs. We would just get a gig, and then the drummer would go like, "Guh-guh-guh-guh-guh," and then me and the other 3 singers would roll on the ground and scream into the microphone until somebody came and stopped us. That was the whole conceit of that band.
It sounds horrible.
I mean, it was kind of by design horrible. It was like, it was awful. It was terrible.
You were like giving your finger to the system, sort of, you know.
So stupid. I was a kid.
Yeah. Is Mr. Green still booking your gigs?
That's fantastic. We would have been better. We would have been better.
You should have screamed shooby doop on the floor. Yeah.
God. So that is all great. It worked kind of well at the clubs we were doing it at. The punk scene, you're kind of allowed to be like very obnoxious. That's encouraged to a degree. But like, if you take that attitude out of the punk rock environment into any other environment, you get into a lot of trouble. And I'd like to tell you a story about trouble I got in, if I could, Conan.
You know what? I was hoping you would.
Oh, great. Thank you. So I was obsessed with Radiohead at the time. It was my favorite band. They still kind of are. I worshipped Thom Yorke. I'm 17 years old, and they're coming to D.C., and they're playing this club, the 930 Club, and I'm so excited. But the only shows I've been going to are punk shows where I roll on the ground and scream, and it's a nightmare. And Radiohead's not that kind of a band. It's not appropriate.
No.
Right. I know that now. Thank you. And I go with my buddy Ryan, and we're wearing our spiky hair and just ready to be horrible people. And Radiohead's playing. They're fantastic. Thom Yorke is singing. I'm loving it. And I have this great idea that I should crowd surf here. And it's like not a hard, big, loud song. I just think this will work somehow. And Ryan, I'm like, Ryan, boost me up. He's like, yeah, man. And he launches me up over these people's heads towards the stage. No one's ready for this. No one's been crowd surfing the whole time. I knock these people in the back of the head. I take out like 4 people onto the ground in like a sprawling mess. I'm standing up on them. I'm stepping on people. People are upset.
Yeah, sure.
Clearly.
I'm upset hearing about it.
You're right. And you're not the only one, because I realize as I'm standing up that the music has completely stopped.
Oh, gee.
And Thom Yorke, my hero, is staring at me, and he goes, "Dickhead! No more crowd surfing!" And I was like, mortified, obviously. "People who crowd surf are dickheads! "You are a dickhead." He did it. He said "dickhead" so many times. And you understand? I'm playing by the rules of the shows I go to.
Yes,
so
you didn't know.
So I go sneaking off to the side. I stand against the wall. I want to leave. He's like, "Finish the song. Finish the song." He finishes the song, and then when he's done, he like looks around and he finds me hiding. He's like, "Unbelievable dickhead." It was worse.
Like, you branded that for life.
It was awful. It was sincerely
I also
an awful
like that
thing.
he runs, Thom Yorke sounds like he runs a pirate ship.
I know, yeah.
Dickhead off the pool, pow!
Very talented man, and I'm sure he was just having a rough night.
What was your, do you remember your first acting job?
I do. So I lived in D.C. I would drive up to Baltimore to audition for things, and my first job I ever got was a show called The Corner. It was on HBO. It was like Charles S. Dutton. It was in the 90s. It's old. And it was for this part called White Boy. I had 2 lines. And
White Boy?
White Boy is the name of the character.
A character you had been playing all your life.
Mr. Green was like, "You got this. You got this."
So really, it was just called White Boy?
White Boy had 2 lines. So I drove up, I auditioned, I drove back. 2 days later, my manager called and was like, "They want you." I was so happy. A couple weeks later, drive up to Baltimore, I get to set, and I like find the lady in charge of base camp. I'm like, "I'm White Boy." She's like, "Fantastic." Takes me to my trailer, it says White Boy. I go in, I put on my White Boy wardrobe. I learn my 2 White Boy lines. They take me to hair and makeup. I go through the works. I'm really nervous. Somebody comes and wires me up for sound, and I'm just like so in the zone. I'm ready to do it. And suddenly, the door to my trailer opens, and there's this guy who's like my age and looks kind of like me, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What? Close the door." And he's like, "I'm White Boy." I was like, "I'm White Boy." He's like, I am white, but we got into a thing. We go storming off, side by side.
There's nothing worse than 2 angry white boys. I tell you that
exactly right. We're like, oh, you are so right.
Like, here they come.
Okay, all right. I'm like, we are going to get to the bottom of this. We're finding the lady who signed us up. We're like, who is White Boy? Tell us now. And she's like, "Who's Eric?" Clearly, the other guy was White Boy. My manager had called and said, "They want you." She didn't say as an extra. So I had.
So you were wrong.
I was wrong. I wasn't White Boy. This guy was White Boy. I'd gone in his clothes. I'd gone through hair and makeup. I had to take all this stuff off.
That's humiliating.
It was humiliating. And then everyone's mad at me. I've made the whole production late because now there's this like fiasco. And,
Right.
And I have to sit there on set as an extra while I'm just feeling miserable. It's like, welcome to showbiz.
But also, it's like if you're gonna steal a part, you wouldn't steal the 2-line part of White Boy.
I should have
what I
tried
mean?
to steal.
You could have come in and said, "Yes, I'm the lead on the corner."
Yes.
And then at least
I'm
maybe.
Charles S. Dutton.
Exactly.
Right. That wouldn't have worked at all.
I don't think so.
It was awful.